guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Renee. Water tastes better in this cup. I know plastic isn't good for the environment, but just still tastes like coffee from this morning. But yeah, welcome to my channel. So I have a question for you guys. Do you love your life? Do you actually love your life? Do you love the life that you're living? Are you happy to wake up every day? If not, this video is for you because I'm going to talk about how you can go about creating a life that you really love. Because I think it's just natural, right? Like throughout life, we're gonna be not content all the time. We would be like not human if we were always content, right? But there's no worse feeling than waking up and just not being excited for the day because you just in general are discontent and unsatisfied with your life. Well, there is a solution for that. There are things that you can do to make your life more of a reality that you want to be living in, how to create a life that you really love. Here are some of my approaches when I get to that uncomfortable, unwanted, kind of like dready feeling in the morning and stuff. So I really feel like the secret to, aside from like the whole manifestation stuff and all of these things that we can actually like physically do to create a life that we to change our circumstances and stuff, combined with like prayer and like surrender, aside from like the spiritual aspects of changing your life, I would say that creating a life you really love begins with being honest about what you don't like about your life. So if you're not even ready to confront the things that you don't like, then you're not ready to make a change. You're not ready to like change your life for the better. You're not ready to love your life because you're in denial about the things that you don't like, the things that you want to change. But changing your life and creating an upgraded experience, one that you're happy to wake up to, it starts with confronting the things that you don't like and, changing them. Because I'm here to tell you that you have so much more control and power over your daily circumstances than you realize. And as soon as you're up for taking the responsibility for your life and the accountability for how things are going, no matter how far away you are from where you want to be, as soon as you take accountability for that, you're in way better shape. Like you are on your way to where you want to be. But it starts with first realizing that you're the authority over your own life. Like if you're over the age of 18, you're no longer a child, and there's nobody that you can point the finger at and blame for how your life is going. I'm here to tell you, like, you have full authority over your life, and I'm guilty of this too. Most people didn't have the perfect childhood, and it's like once we become like young adults or even like in adulthood, we start realizing why we are the way we are, why we do certain things we don't like, why our behavior is a certain way. And it's really easy to just point the finger like to our parents or like to that thing that happened to us that traumatized the hell out of us, to make excuses for why our life is a certain way. Especially like perfect example, addictions, right? We can be like, well, I do this because this. But at the end of the day, any repercussion from that addiction is going to fall on you because it's your life. You are the authority over your own life. It doesn't matter if there is someone else to blame because you are the person that's doing this action every day and you're hurting yourself. So, I just remember at one point, like, really, I don't know what was like an epiphany. I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm my own authority. Like, this is my life. Everything about my life falls on me now. Like, I don't know, I think that was in college when I just kind of realized that. But yeah, you gotta accept that you're the authority over your own life now. And once you do that, you are now ready to approach creating a life that you love, right? Because without accountability, without responsibility, you're not gonna get there because you're in denial. So there were tons of things that I didn't like about my life that I had to change, that I had to accept at first and then change. So one of the reasons before, and I can say there's always room for improvement, there's always room for more, but I'm pretty content with where my life is right now. But let me share some things that I didn't like before that I changed to make my life more like more of a life that I want, more this is the way that I changed my life. First, I realized what I didn't like about my life, the things that were causing me anxiety every day, the things that I wasn't looking forward to. I identified a couple right here. So the first one was the neighborhood that I was living in. I feel like at one point the neighborhood that I was living in was the reason for a lot of my like unfortunate events that traumatized me, because it was where I met certain people. It was what determined my level of safety on a day-to-day basis. It was, where I spent a lot of time. Like, your environment really affects you. So, I really was not content with my neighborhood, and I identified that. Like, I accepted that I was not happy living there. My relationship, I was really, it was really toxic for a long time. One of my past relationships. This is all in the past, not now. But, I had to accept that I was not happy in that relationship, that it was taking away from my life and not adding to it. And it was causing me anxiety every single day. And I was deeply, deeply unhappy and progressively just getting more insecure and just lost in life in that relationship. Another situation I had to confront and accept that I didn't like, that I really needed to address in order to create a life I loved, was, weight gain, like uncomfortable weight gain, uncomfortable body image issues, um, you know, uncomfortable eating behaviors, just everything around body image, around health, around fitness, around nutrition. Girl, like, I have been there. I've been so, so deeply unhappy with some behaviors that I used to have that sometimes still come up, I'll just be honest. So, I had to accept that. And, anxiety level. That was just something that I was really unhappy with. That was making my life just uncomfortable. And it was stopping me from living a life that I really loved. Because how do you love your life when you're just like so anxious every day and you're just not in the present moment? You're either in the past or in the future. Your mind is running 1,000 miles a minute, and you are making it so hard for yourself to, to like enjoy your life. So, these were some of the things that I had to really confront and, address in order to like create a life I really loved. So how did I overcome the neighborhood thing? I really hated the neighborhood. I met shady people who brought me into shady situations. I was in a very, very dangerous situation on the train where, it was extremely traumatic. I had to commute like literally an hour and a half each way every day, which was really annoying, especially after experiencing trauma on the train, like having to just do that. Like, I didn't feel safe basically. It would stop me from going out because it was so far. I would think twice before agreeing to plans, and it was just like this huge, like, negative spiral vortex in my life was my neighborhood and my environment. So I obviously the solution to this is moving out of the neighborhood, but it's not always that simple, is it? And it really wasn't. But I can tell you that when I decided that that's what I needed, I did not freaking stop until I moved. Like, I didn't stop my search, my quest to move out of that neighborhood until it happened for me. And there were so many like obstacles I had to overcome because I only made a certain amount of money at the time. I was like 22, 23. And in New York, the income level that you need to get your own apartment is like, they have very strict rules about that. So that was an obstacle. And yeah, there was just so many things I had to overcome. I actually have a video on my channel, if you go all the way down, about like my moving experience and things you should know before moving in New York. I'll put it here somewhere. But it was a learning experience for sure. But you best believe I found an apartment, and I found something that worked for me, and moving was huge. Like, moving was huge. And progressively, that was my first apartment, but progressively, like, my where I live, like, I've always made it a priority from that point on to like be in an environment that I feel safe in, that I feel comfortable in, that is putting me in the right environment to like meet people I want to meet, to just foster the growth that I'm wanting. Environment is everything. So I had to change my neighborhood, and that, I cannot tell you how much of an improvement that made upon my life. Like, just to open my eyes in the morning and to feel safe, to feel comfortable, that's priceless. So I had to change that though. I had to take that, accountability and, responsibility to like move and find my own place. And, it wasn't easy. Like, I wasn't, not everybody was supportive at that time. Like, I had to like really just take one for myself and really like believe in myself that I could do it on like, minimum wage. I was making like $15 an hour as a lifeguard. So I had a lot of like I had to have a lot of faith in myself, and some way, somehow it happened, like just like divine timing. Like once you find your goal and you do not freaking take your foot off the neck of that goal, it will happen. It will happen. I'm a firm believer in that. So, I had to change my neighborhood, and that made such a big difference, and it continues to make a difference. And that is an important thing that I'm looking at when I move. And right now, I'm really content with where I live. Like, I'm basically like in my dream. Like, this is like a really ideal scenario for me to be in right now. And then the relationship, obviously, I wasn't happy about that. It was a source of stress every single day. So eventually, after, toxic patterns of like breaking up and getting back together and, just that whole nine, ending that relationship was something that really improved the quality of my life and helped me just grow and just love my life, because I got all of that energy that I was spending on the situation that wasn't serving me back, and I was able to just focus and move forward and create the life that I wanted by just reclaiming my energy by breaking up with this person, or experiencing the breakup. So that was something that it was hard, obviously, but something that I had to do because I took the authority over my own life, and no one else was going to do it for me. Eating behaviors, body image stuff, that's a whole inner work journey, but, it starts with one habit at a time, and just becoming more conscious overall of what you're choosing to put into your body every single day and what's like fueling your behaviors. So for me, that's currently a work in progress still, but, when I do work through this issue, the issues that I have, time and time again, they come up, and time again, I work through them and I overcome them. It adds to the quality of my life, and it makes my life a life that I really want to live. And then anxiety levels, how did I go about addressing that? I, went to therapy. That was huge. I took a lot of like inner work programs and like life coaching programs, to help me like learn more about like mentality and how I could improve it. Self-help books, the whole nine, and just like also physical things that I could do, like yoga, meditation, just overall living like a low stress life became more of a priority for me. And, I had to address all of these things in order to create a life that I really loved. And, I encourage you guys to do what you can to address the things that you don't like about your life. Identify them first, like I just did for you guys, and address what it is that you can do right now, today, to address them, and fully accept that you have the capability to change those things. And in the areas that you can change, accept the responsibility and act on it. And, by doing this, you're going to then have the courage to go after what you really want, because you realize that you're capable of changing certain things. And you take that lesson, you take that confidence that you just gained, and then you apply it for the things that you want next. But without addressing those things, you're not going to have the motivation or the belief to even move forward. Like, all of this is more of like an inside job, because you have to believe inside yourself that you deserve more, that you deserve better, that you are capable of getting better than you have in the moment. Especially if you're wanting to make changes, you have to believe that you're capable of making those changes, that you have, you know, the control over those things in your life, that you have control over your life, because you do. And nobody else can give you the blueprint or the plan for your life besides you. And if you want to create a life that you really love, start by taking the authority over your life, identify the things that you want to change, address those things in the way that you can, and use that energy that you just proved to yourself that you're able to do those things to move forward and accomplish your future goals. So yeah, it's an inside job for sure, but there are concrete ways that you can create a life that you really love. These are like practical things that you can implement in your life to do that. And it's a journey. Like, it's definitely a journey, so don't be so hard on yourself. I have my good days, I have my bad days, but these things are like what I would tell like even a family member or a close friend or like a sister, of how I went about creating a life that I really love, because I come from like a background of like a lot of trauma, a lot of just, you know, very negative experiences, and I grew a lot as a person, and these are things that I've learned, so I'm sharing it with you so that you can possibly, like, you know, change your life and, you know, accept the role that you play in guiding your own life and not be in a place of feeling defeated and feeling like the victim. So yeah, how to create a life you really love. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a like, leave me a comment, and yeah, follow me on TikTok. I think I'll be launching either a program, a coaching program, or a ebook soon. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing first, but definitely stay tuned for that, and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to know when I upload.